What's up, Daystar Church? I have an exciting announcement. CLI, which is our Cultivate Leadership Institute, has a group of students who have prepared a very special message for you. In addition to the leadership training and development, the spiritual mentoring and discipleship that these students get, they also receive training on how to prepare and deliver a message. And they've worked really hard. They've put together a great message that I think you'll find very encouraging, challenging, inspiring. We're so proud of them, and we wanted all of you to get to hear their heart and get a word from God. So, man, tune in, enjoy this message, and let them know how much you love and appreciate them. And thanks for checking this out.
Hey Daystar family, if we haven't met, my name is Amanda Freeman and I'm married to Eric Freeman. He is on staff at Daystar, and I don't know if you guys caught the message this past Sunday, but he got to share that message and it was really good. So if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. He talks about Hagar and how God sees us in the midst of our troubles, and it was really good, so go watch it. A fun little fact for you, most of y'all know this, I don't know if you guys know this, but Eric is the person who's heading up Cultivate Leadership Institute, and I am his wife, and for the past year I've been enrolled in his program, so I don't know if that means that you need to go out and sign up for the program right away, or if that means that I'm a little crazy. The verdict's out on that, but I'll let y'all decide. But one thing that I have to say is I have missed being with everybody on Sunday mornings. I don't know about y'all. Have y'all missed that? Yes. Oh, goodness. I love church on Sunday mornings, and I love being with my church family. It's one of my favorite things. I look forward to it every week. So I'm the person who's outside greeting everybody. I'm hugging everybody and squeezing everybody, catching up on what's going on in their lives. I love going into the auditorium and hearing Pastor Allen speak. I love worship. I love being with everyone else in the room, singing at the top of my lungs to God. It's awesome. I sound way better there than I do at home, singing along with my computer, right? But I miss it. And so one of the things that I have been asking God in this season is if we can't worship together in person in a church building, can we really and truly worship? And the thing that I feel like he's been saying to me is that yes, we can, because worship isn't about me, it's about God. And one of the ways that we can worship is through serving other people. So if you're the kind of person who likes to take notes, whether you're here or if you're watching at home, and you like having a structure and a title for the message, you can call this message Worshiping Through Serving. And I'll go ahead and spoiler, the first point of the message is going to be worship is not about me. It's not about me. So I have been reading in the book of Isaiah, and I came to chapter 58, and God is talking to the Israelites through the prophet Isaiah, and he's talking to them about the way they've been worshiping. In this particular chapter, they're worshiping through their fasting. And God is actually disappointed with what they're doing. And I'd like to read a section at a time to you and talk about what I've discovered as I've read through this. So the first section that shows that worship is not about me, it's Isaiah 58, and it's starting in verse 2. It says, they come to the temple every day. That's more than me, right? I like going to church every Sunday, but they're going every day. And they seem delighted to learn all about me. They act like a righteous nation that would never abandon the laws of its God. They ask me to take action on their behalf, pretending they want to be near me. We have fasted before you, they say. Why aren't you impressed? We have been very hard on ourselves, and you don't even notice it. I will tell you why, I respond. It's because you are fasting to please yourselves. Even while you fast, you keep oppressing your workers. What good is fasting when you keep on fighting and quarreling? This kind of fasting will never get you anywhere with me. So, I don't know about you guys, but that's tough, right? Yeah. God is really getting onto them because they have made worship, in this case, they're fasting, they've made their worship all about themselves. So I've read this and I've really wondered, where has my worship been about me instead of about God? And so I think about this Sunday morning experience. You know, on a Sunday morning, I love going to church and I get great things out of it, right? I get to see my friends. I get to sing my favorite songs. I have somebody looking after my kids. I get a little break and I get to get all dressed up. You know, it's fun. But all those things are about me. That's not about God. So I've really been asking, if my focus is about me, what needs to change? How can my worship be more about God? All right, so one of the things that I have been thinking about is if we can't meet on a Sunday morning and I'm missing out on that experience, it's almost like I'm fasting that Sunday morning experience, right? And that's been really hard. But I'm learning we don't have to be at church to worship God. And it's not about me. It's not about my preference. It's about God. So it's reminded me of the conversation that Jesus had with the woman at the well. There's a part in that conversation. She's a Samaritan woman, and she says, you know, Samaritans, we believe that we're supposed to worship at this mountain, and Jews believe that they're supposed to worship at the temple. So which way is it? What are we supposed to do? And you know what Jesus tells her? He said it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you worship. In fact, listen in John 4:23. He says this is what it's about. He told her, but the time is coming, indeed it is here now, when true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. The Father is looking for those who will worship him that way. He doesn't care if we worship him from a church building. He doesn't care if we worship him from our homes. He doesn't care if we worship from a friend's home or when we're out in the community. That part doesn't matter. What matters is the heart, and that we're making it about him and not about us.
Yep.
So that's what I've been doing, and what I would encourage you to do is ask God to search your heart. Let him tell you where it's been about you instead of about him, and allow him to change that and work through that. Okay, so the first point was that worship is not about me. The second point, if it's not about me, the second point is that true worship can be about serving other people. So right after God is getting on to the Israelites about the way that they're worshiping and how wrong that is because they made it all about themselves, he tells them what he actually wants. He says that he doesn't want them to fast simply for the sake of depriving themselves, but he wants them to fast so that out of the fasting they can give from their excess, right? Okay, so in Isaiah 58, this is in verse 6. I'm going to read what he tells them what he wants them to do instead. No, this is the kind of fasting I want. Free those who are wrongly imprisoned. Lighten the burden of those who work for you. Let the oppressed go free and remove the chains that bind people. Share your food with the hungry and give shelter to the homeless. Give clothes to those who need them and do not hide from relatives who need your help. He goes on to say, feed the hungry, help those in trouble. So he gives us some practical things that we can actually do in real life. It's not about us. He gives action verbs. He says free, lighten, remove, share, give, feed, and help. These are all actions that we can do and we can take. And when we do those actions, when we serve other people, that is an act of worship that blesses God. So in this season, when we can't meet in church on a Sunday morning to worship, we can worship him in another way. We can choose to serve other people. So I've been trying to figure out what does that look like for me, right? So a few ways that this has looked for our family, simple things like praying for other people, being intentional about it, actually keeping a list and being intentional about our prayers. It can look like writing an encouraging note to a friend, or it can be serving. We've had a chance to serve at the community center, and we've also served with Freedom House. It can be a financial sacrifice, so it can be supporting a mission or supporting the church. We've had the chance to support our friends who are missionaries in a third world country and really support people there who can't eat right now, because if they don't work, they can't eat. So those are just some ways that our family has tried to serve and worship God in this moment. But there are plenty of other things that you can do. So ask God, what is it that you have placed on me? What unique gifts do I have? How can I serve people in this season? And the Bible really talks about making others a priority all over the place. I'll just give 2 examples. So in Philippians 2:3-4, it says, don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others, but be humble, thinking of others as better than yourselves. Don't look out only for your own interests, but take an interest in others too. It's important to care about other people. In Romans 12:1, it says, therefore, I urge you, brothers and sisters, in view of God's mercy, to offer your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This is your true and proper worship. And our living sacrifice can be serving other people. He says that is worship. That's what he wants. He wants the heart, not about me, but about him and serving his people. Okay, so the first point, just a little refresher. First point was it's not about me. Second point is that true worship can be about serving other people. And the last point is that true worship is rewarded. Okay, so here's the cool thing. God doesn't just tell them that they're doing wrong and then leave them to their own devices. He gives them an action plan, and then he tells them that there's a reward for it. I'm just gonna read one example. This is, again, chapter 58 in Isaiah, verse 11. The Lord will guide you continually, giving you water when you are dry and restoring your strength. You will be like a well-watered garden, like an ever-flowing spring. So if the Israelites do this, if they do what God's asked them to do, they will be like a well-watered garden. One of my favorite gardens is Bicentennial Gardens in Greensboro. Have y'all ever been there? Yes. It's beautiful. The flowers are gorgeous. There's all kinds of colors. It's fragrant. It's inviting. People want to be there. It's life-giving. And God says that can be true of us too. That when we serve his people, that we can be beautiful and fragrant and full of life and inviting, and that people want to be near us because we have his presence with us, and we're more concerned about other people than we are with ourselves. In Galatians 6:9-10, it says, so let's not get tired of doing what is good. At just the right time, we will reap a harvest of blessing if we don't give up. Therefore, whenever we have the opportunity, we should do good to everyone, especially to those in the family of faith. God wants to reward us when we serve his people. It blesses him when we serve his people. So just as a review, worship is not about me. It doesn't matter if we're at home or if we're at church. It's not about me and my preferences. Worship can be about serving other people and making them a priority. That blesses God. And when we do that, we're rewarded. We are rewarded for that. So if I can, I would love to pray with you guys and just ask God to really change our hearts and help us focus more on him instead of on ourselves in this season. God, I just thank you so much for the opportunity we have right now in this season to learn more about you. And I ask that you search our hearts and you show us where our worship has been about ourselves and where we've been more focused on ourselves and how we've been affected than about drawing near to you and how we can worship you. And so I pray that you show us specifically how each of us can serve your people and love on your people, and that through that we can bless you and bring glory to your name. We thank you for that opportunity, and we ask that you get all the glory and all the honor. Amen. Thank you.
Well, didn't our CLI students do such a fantastic job? I am so proud of them. It was such a big step for them to step out and to share a devotional video for the very first time. And so some of the ways that you can encourage them and just let them know how much you enjoyed it is by leaving a comment or a like and just sharing that information with them personally or with your friends through social media. If you're interested in Cultivate Leadership Institute, I'd like to encourage you to go to our website. Go to cli.daystargso.com and you'll get all the information. You can start your application there, and you can ask any questions and see all that we offer. Cultivate Leadership Institute exists to cultivate the purpose and passion for leadership that God has placed in you and to train and equip you for your future. We are here for you. So we would love to have you join us for this fall semester. Hope to see you soon.